Well, hello. Let's make sure that everybody can hear me. If you can hear me on Facebook and YouTube, do me a favor and let me know that you can hear me. Tonight is going to be a great night. Let me know if you can hear me. I want to welcome you to the Prophetic Evolution, your house for online miracles. Let me know that y'all can hear me so we can get started. I'm just sharing this right now, so as you're coming in, please share this with your people. We give the Lord praise. What a great, great day. And we are going to have fun. You know, it's not every day that I don't even okay, awesome. It's not every day that you get the honor and the privilege of interviewing people that you admire and you've watched from afar. I have had the pleasure of meeting and loving this couple's children before I actually got a chance to really watch them, listen to them. As a matter of fact, I think one of the first times I encountered them as a couple, I was ministering to them. God had given me a prophetic word for them. And I remember the Lord saying to me how much he likes them as a couple, how um, and how amazing they would be teaching as a couple. The Lord also said to me a while ago that he wasn't pleased with the fact that them as a couple and as a marriage wasn't more on display. He said that people need to see this level of truth. I feel the anointing already. People need to see this level of truth. People need to be exposed to Isaac as a man and Tasha as a woman, not necessarily the church side, but the human side. And so I was like, okay, I'd given them the word of the Lord and fell in love with Tiara, Tajane, Tejan, all these T's, right? And last year, the end of last year, as God began to give me instruction for this new year, he said in February, as much as you can, I want them on the entire month. And I was like, the entire month? Wow. Okay. All right. He said the entire month. So it is, I want to expose them as much as I can. Their story is incredible. I'm not even going to tell you what I know about their story, what I've heard about their story. But they are funny, they are comical, their lessons their stories, their challenges are life changing. As far as I'm concerned, okay? As far as I'm concerned, and they're hearing this for the first time, I am claiming them as the head of Prophetic Evolution's marriage ministry. If you having any problems in your marriage, call them. Tasha has a way, and Isaac has a demeanor of absorbing your story and your truth without going crazy. And there is very little that you can tell them that would have them shocked. It's a pleasure, y'all. I can't even begin to tell you how much it is a pleasure of mine to, as they say in the church, to present to some and introduce to others. Isaac and Tasha Smith. So let me see if I can get them on and make sure that their mics are working right. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Can y'all hear me? Turn your mics up.
Yeah.
You can hear me all right?
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Okay. I'm having a problem hearing y'all. Hold on one second.
Are we low? Can you hear us?
There you go. All right. Now I can hear you. Lean towards your phone so I can hear y'all. Okay. Can y'all push the camera back a bit so I can see both of you? Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, I would love to introduce you to this is gonna sound kind of weird, but as it relates to marriages, and you're gonna know why. My personal He-Man and She-Ro, as it relates to marriages and truth and comedy, you're going to see it in just a minute. Okay, so welcome, Isaac. Welcome, Tasha. God bless
Thank you.
Welcome tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you hear us good?
Yep, I can hear you. I can hear them. Team, can y'all hear them?
Yeah, we need to make sure that everybody can hear us well. Or
Scary.
Or do we need to turn ours up? Yes, no? Any comments? Well,
Hold on one second. I need to, team, can we hear them? I need to make sure that y'all can hear Clinton and Clinton Isaac. So if you hear me say Clinton or Isaac, same person, okay? Or Tasha. Okay, Linnell said that we can hear y'all. Okay. All right. So listen, I'm really going to tonight, I'm going to stay out the way. I got about 45 minutes to an hour, if I understand right, because y'all, Tasha has a play here in San Diego at the Kumbah Fest at the end of this month. So she got a job and she's here with us tonight, and then she has to go handle that. So
Yes.
If it gets too good, she might have to step away, and then Isaac will carry us the rest of the way, hopefully.
We can't leave him by himself.
He got to go too?
We can't leave him by himself.
All right. So we got like 45 minutes to an hour, and I got some questions. I'm going to table a lot of my questions because we have a month, and so Clinton and Tasha, would y'all introduce yourselves? Tell us a little bit about yourselves, but don't tell your story yet.
Okay.
Go ahead first.
So I am Tasha Monique Smith, the other actress, the other Tasha Smith. No. I grew up here, so I know everybody here. However, I was born in New York, in Queens. And I really just want to go home and see my family after the snow, after the hurricanes, during
Yeah.
fall, right at a certain time. That's about it. But I'll let him introduce himself so I don't
You're
hold
from
on too much.
Queens?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Keisha, Queen to thee.
Yes,
Okay,
born
coming
and
to
bred.
America. See, y'all,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't
Born and
know that.
bred.
All
My
right,
mama's from
Clinton.
Brooklyn.
I can tell. We can tell. My name is Mr. Clinton Isaac Smith. I was born the second son of three sons from Mr. William T. Smith and Miss Marie Disney. I am from San Diego, California. I've been here, uh,
Forever.
yeah, all my life. 20 years active duty in the United States Marine Corps,
Right.
and
Hoorah.
I'm still here by God's blessing. So there's a little background.
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
Awesome. Thank you again for your service. I'm telling y'all, the only frustrating thing about Clinton and Stephanie are these daggone Marines, man.
Man,
Oh,
I got you,
it's,
Adam.
and listen, they don't say we're better than everybody. They just carry
just do it.
themselves like we
Mhm.
are
They just do it.
Marines and everybody else is okay.
Everybody else is okay.
Oh my God. I love them. It's like,
Everybody.
but it's the way they carry themselves. And I love the discipline. Okay. All right. So I just have just a couple of questions. We talked on Tuesday night. I defined what a relationship, what a ship was. That a ship is something that carries you from one destination to the next. Then I define lation, which is the movement or motion between two celestial bodies. And then I defined over and constant. So the over and constant. So relationship is defined as the over and constant motion or interaction between two celestial or heavenly bodies as they journey from one destination to the next. And so we broke that down and we talked about it. I want to ask you, Clinton and Tasha, and because I want to hear from both of you, I want each one of you to answer the question your way. When you think about relationships, number one, how do you define it? And number two, do you think as a world, as a country, as a nation, as a church, do you think that relationships are trending in a better direction or in a worse direction? Either one of you can go first and answer both of them, please.
You go ahead.
Okay. So to define, you said to define our relationship.
A relationship.
On my end, I'm very emotional. And I only say emotional meaning that I am passionate about relationship.
Okay.
So for myself, growing up, I do have three older siblings, but I was by myself because I was the youngest. I'm 9 years younger than my older sister. So it was almost like being home by myself. So relationships for me was formed out of me finding family here because I wasn't here. I wasn't born here. I wasn't raised. I started being raised when I was 9. So for relationships for me, it became whoever I was becoming close to. That's how I learned relationship. I
Okay.
learned family through my friends because my family is still all back east. So for me, relationship means like giving everything. I give everything to whom or whatever I'm doing. The relationship between myself and work, or between me and church, or just being loyal to that point, just because that's how I view relationships. It's important to me enough where I will do whatever is possible to salvage relationship because I think of it the same way. We're growing together. So in order to grow, you have to put work in. You have to put work in. So when you're adding a person to that component, it's much more difficult because you're now having to cultivate a relationship with someone else and their personality, their ideals, their idiosyncrasies or pet peeves, whatever it is. So you have to work, me personally, to maintain a relationship. You have to work at that continual relation. That's just how I feel.
You think it's going?
Okay. And two,
Now, as far as where relationships are going right now, sadly to me, I do not see a lot of relationships that are um, sustaining themselves or being sustained.
okay.
And I do believe that it's definitely because of just outside or whatever the case may be, but I don't know if we're getting taught anymore how to stay in relationships. We're taught that you're supposed to stay, fight through everything, you can pray through everything, you're gonna do all that kind of stuff, but not the practical, hands-on, how am I gonna really do this?
Okay. Okay. So then we are trending in the opposite direction of healthy relationships. And you,
A
okay.
healthy
All right.
relationship, yes.
Okay. Clinton,
Clinton
sir.
and I. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Relation. For me, it basically means anything that I can relate to that has to do with me. My moods, my vernacular, the way that I speak, the way that I carry myself, how I can relate to others and how they can relate to me, how I communicate with them is how, not I shouldn't say how, but what relation means to me. How can they relate to me? How can I relate to them? How can I cultivate something with them or this person? In a relation, it's constant. It's always not say changing, but it's a I wouldn't say give and take. It's like it's water, it's gonna be wet. If it's air, that means it's gonna be dry. There's an opposite or equal reaction to everything in a relationship. Period. There's light, there's darkness. Adam and Eve, when Adam saw Eve, he was like, whoa, 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 whoa. There was a reaction going on. There was relation going on. That's scripture. You can't get away from that. So
Right.
that is to me exactly what relationship, no matter what kind of vessel it is, that is how I define or how I look, or my perspective of a relationship with
Okay.
anyone or anything. As far as relationships being married in today's, the trending thing is it's moving further and further away from its origin, meaning the God, the creator of all things, is moving further and further away from
Absolutely.
what his original intent was, and moving a lot more towards uh, moods or feelings or emotions of, man, hey, that fruit was good. I'm gonna go, share it over here. I'm gonna go share it over there, and that's where I think it is moved to. It's moved away, in a negative sense. It's moved away from its original intent.
Okay. Okay. How long have the two of you I before we get into the story, totally, how long have the two of y'all been together?
2 weeks.
Oh, let's see. Tiara's 27, so about 27, 28 years.
Okay. Wow.
I'm not even gonna try to do the math on that one.
That's all right. That's all right. That's fair.
Yeah.
I wanted the general, so 27, 28 years, because I don't want to tell your story. So in the 28 years that you had been together, interacting for better or for worse, for richer, for poor, ups, downs, challenges, everything. Tasha,
Yes, sir.
if there's one thing about Clinton that keeps you coming back, that keeps you falling in love over and over, and brings you back to your commitment, what would the one thing be? And then I'll ask Clinton the same.
Brian McKnight.
What? See, Steph couldn't say that to me. We can't talk about another ninja being the reason why our marriage is working out.
He started it. He started it so long ago. He started it.
No, see, because see, the moment you say that, it brings me to atmospheres and moods. Because we grew up. When we grew up, Keith Sweat, Jodeci, all that stuff. Brian McKnight starting back at 1. I Miss You. That stuff. Okay, all right. So explain it. Okay, Brian McKnight.
Well, that's a story. However, truthfully, no. Number one, my husband and I are very good friends.
Okay.
So him and I we can hang, we can be friends, and we can do anything. Thank you, Stephanie. We can do anything together. Sometimes when it's not husband and wife, what keeps us here and coming back is because he's my best friend. And I need my best friend a lot of times. Even when I don't like him, I need my best friend.
Okay. Clinton.
What keeps me coming back is that.
Oh, whether she wants. Hold on. I just realized what I did. I put Clinton and Isaac Smith.
Hold on. I said, thank you, Stephanie.
I'm just sitting here looking at the Western, just looking at it, and I was like, "Oh, that's not what I was supposed to say." Y'all, I'm sorry. Right. Hold on.
We got you. We good.
You good, sir?
Okay, Isaac, go ahead, sir.
I'll venture to say on the lighter side that there's a kid in her that I'll often like to see and interact with. When I first met her, we were not children, but we were like teenagers.
I was 14.
So when I first met her, those butterflies, that first time I was like, ooh, even though I thought, I was not attractive or anything like that, there's still a kid inside of her that I still find very, very fun to be around, to hang around with, and just no matter where she is, 1,000 miles away, I still like that kid in her. So that keeps me. She's got it trapped there, every now and then, but that's what keeps me coming back.
Okay, awesome. Now, let me see. Okay, this is a question y'all can answer together. Y'all can give, or if either one of you, if you have 3 things, or if y'all together can think of 3 things, I need y'all to give us 3 reasons why relationships fail. And the reason why I'm driving towards relationships is because everybody wants to talk about marriage. I'm so glad that you said he's my best friend, because we're getting married and we don't even really know how to deal with the other individual, which is that relationship, right? So I'm going to start with Clinton. If you know of 3 things, or at least the one that off the top of your head, give me a reason why relationships fail. And I need my team to make sure that you're commenting and putting this up, because I want to make sure that we have this on wax. Give me one of the reasons. You've been watching men. You're an amazing observer. In your personal opinion and in you watching, tell me one of the reasons why you believe that relationships fail.
In general, just in a nutshell.
Lust
of the eye, lust of the flesh, and the pride of life, that's outside of the will of God. That's outside of God's original intent. That becomes part of your reality or your emotions. So that puts you out of focus and off track. So That is,
Hold on.
if not
So
one,
the
all
lust
the
of the
things.
flesh, the lust of the
The lust
eyes,
of the
and the
eye,
pride
the
of life.
lust of
You
the
said it
flesh,
takes us off of
and the pride.
focus.
It takes us out of focus of
Okay.
from God's original intent, and that flourishes into all kinds of stuff. It flourishes
Right.
into even pride, like, oh, I see this, I deserve it. If somebody has it already, they must have stole it from me, because it's mine. And I could find scripture to try and support it. No, it's pride. It's all of that. That it's self, the flesh, all of
Okay.
that.
Look, I got to stop you because pride. It was my next question. So don't go ahead of me.
Gotcha.
Pride is
All
my
right.
very next question. Okay. All right. So now you said lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life. It takes you out of focus from God's original intent. Sidebar question. What is God's original intent for relationships in your estimation?
His original intent is him, period. It is him. He shows how he is not just all things, but he is everything. Meaning, like, I saw that when I created Adam, that it was not good for him to be by himself. So I designed a wife for him, for them to be together and rule in this area, to do this, thus, and so. That was his original intent, period. For them to recognize who they are, who their creator was, and for them to be together. To me, that is his original intent, and that is where our flaws are. Because we start to see, of course, more of his awesome creations that we claim that we're not looking at, but we are looking at, because it's everywhere. It has become more prevalent in places, even at the holy places. It has become more prevalent. And yeah, we watch, we see, and part of our fall is that it becomes harder and harder to just not see or to resist by eyesight. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Okay. So when you said like it's about God, are you saying that because God made he saw that man it wasn't good for him to be alone, so he made him a wife, and God's original intent was that even though we enjoy each other, he's still at the center. So he's a part of that relationship, and the relationships fall apart when he is taken out of the focus of the relationship.
Absolutely.
Got it. Okay. All right. So Tasha, give me another reason why relationships fail.
Well, my first one definitely was being without God or taking God out of the relationship. The second one I honestly would say is the help that is needed for a lot of the marriages going through those things, especially when they take God out of the relationship. A lot of the counselings and all the things that we're told, hey, go to counseling, it'll get better. Go here, it'll get better. I think for me personally, just me personally, as the woman, as the head, the neck part of the head, teaching us how to stay in marriage, in God, in the whole the way that God put it, for the husband to be the head, the wife to be submit, this and the other. The teaching that we need on how to maintain that is something that we do not get or don't have locally. Now with everything being online, yes, you can find all of that, but it's nothing like being actually somewhere where you're being taught, you're being shown how to actually maintain, not just told. And that was so something that I struggled with because I was just told.
I've never heard anybody say there's an education to this.
Absolutely.
I've never heard anybody say that. it's, I've had a failed marriage before, and when I hit year 1, they told me, wait till you get to year 3. And when I got to year 3, they said, wait till you get to year 5. And then when I hit 5, they said, wait till you get to year 7. Then when I got to year 7, they said, make sure you get to year 10. I never got to year 10. I stopped at 9. And I was never taught that there's an education to this. I was always taught just go to God about it and walk it out. But nobody ever said there's an education. I'm literally hearing this for the very first time, even though you see counselors everywhere. The thought process, hallelujah, that there is an education that is needed in marriage to be taught how to last is so major. Now, Tasha, I have a second question to what you said. You said you are the neck to the head. Please explain that.
The juggler.
That word helpmeet is not just a word.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Did you say the juggler? I told you they got jokes, y'all. I told you. Okay, all right, I'm quiet. All right, okay, I'm quiet. The neck part.
The juggler. Yep, because we make that heartbeat. We make that go around. My helpmeet duties and that Proverbs 31 woman and all of those good things. You think about all those things and you're like, yes, that's what I'm striving to be. I'm striving to be. But when the head turns, the neck has to go with it.
Uh-huh.
And if the neck don't go with it, he's a little crazy. He don't know what to do if the neck ain't gonna go with him. So I had to learn the hard way, but I had to learn how to be that helpmeet and be that neck to help him stand up, help him perk up, hear from the Lord, help him lay down and rest, help him do the things that he may not understand or not think that he needs, but that's why we're supposed to be here. That's what the helpmeet is. I see some of those things that he may not see. When I come and I'm like, babe, this might be happening or this is going on or whichever, because he knows I'm right here and my focus is his heart. He actually now is starting to understand, okay, she's not really just nagging me. She's really concerned. She feels what it is that I'm going through. So that's how I view myself, as his neck, as his rib, as his side. But I got to be there with him. Whatever the wisdom he receives, all those good things, I got to be right there. I need to learn those things along with him, because it doesn't work without the head and the neck. That's how I look at my place.
Okay, the Holy Ghost just gave me a whole other thought, so we're going to veer for a minute. I've always said that there is a dishonor in the Holy Scriptures in the book of Proverbs. I've always said they are quick to talk about a Proverbs 31 woman, and they never talk about a Proverbs 32 man. And so tonight, I would kind of like a rewrite. I would like the Smith translation of Proverbs 32.
Oh,
okay?
Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Okay. So,
Clinton. Oh, Lord. The Proverbs 32.
A Proverbs 32 man. Give me, I feel the anointing on this. I think this might be a book. Clinton, give me, I know, sir, that you've looked in your life, you've seen a couple married before, and you've said to yourself, oh, they're going to struggle. Or I don't know if they're going to make it, right? When you looked at the man, if you could set them down and there is certain things that he's missing, certain ingredients that's making this cake horrible. What is a characteristic of a Proverbs 32 man? And then I'm coming back to you, Tasha.
That's a good question. Let's see. Boy, man, I think there's several of them. But one of the main ones I think, let's see if I answer this as accurately as possible, is the quality of communication. It would be the quality of communication.
Quality of communication.
The quality of communication, because as a man, he has his own language. And relationally speaking, because he's man, everything he says should be understood. It doesn't have, there's no interpretation of it. That's how he understands. That's his communication. Well, as the Proverbs 31 woman, just in a comparison, she speaks multiple languages. So she knows how to either interpret or to redirect or to help administer, of course, as far as communication is concerned, to get the task or the understanding to come to pass.
Mhm.
So effective, I think, would need to be a scripture or two in Proverbs 32.
Awesome. Quality of communication. You know, Clinton, I started writing a book called Men Are Spaghetti, Women Are Lasagna. And how men are pretty much straightforward when you have to absorb them, but women, you can observe their layers from a distance. You can observe their layers, but it's not until so you know that women have layers before you, like from an observation standpoint, but you literally have to put the spaghetti in your mouth to taste what type of spaghetti sauce, what type of noodles is there pepper. You have to actually taste the spaghetti in order to figure out what's in it. Do you think we take enough time as a man observing the woman? Do you think we take enough like, because you didn't say communication, you said the quality of it. And see, if I am a knucklehead, I'm just going to hear you saying I gotta learn how to talk to him. But that's not what you said. You said it's the quality of communication. And for the men, myself included, who want to make 50 years married and all that stuff, when you say the quality of communication, listen, you got sisters and daughters on here who are waiting to hear your answer. When you say the quality of communication, I need you to go there with me. What are you talking about? You're not just talking about having a regular conversation.
Right.
No, there's so many things, and I'll be a little bit transparent for us men. We can't find the words to say what's really on our hearts. We really don't take enough time to effectively find the right words to convey to our spouse what are we trying to say. If I'm saying I'm hurting, she needs to know. Okay, I got you, hon. Your boot, is it your arm, your leg, your head, your back? What is it? Quality says my stomach is aching. My stomach hurts. Is it a stomach? Is it a cramp? If it's not a cramp, is it gas? If it's not gas, what did you lean on something? Did you go to the gym? Did you pull a muscle? The quality of communication will help bring about the understanding and the resolve of whatever may be ailing. That's
Wow.
Well, that's it in a nutshell. Because I know we run out of time. Go ahead.
See, I suck at that. No, we're gonna come back to it. I promise we're coming back to it. I suck at that. If I don't know the answer to the question, I'm just going to say, hey, I'm hurting. And then if Stephanie is going to do exactly what you said women do. Well, is it this? Is it that? Is it that? And the analysis or the critique of my original statement, I'm hurting, is going to agitate me because I don't have answers. So for the men out here who are out here in the boat that's sinking with me. Oh my God. What a challenge.
That's funny.
Okay.
That's funny.
Okay, so Clinton, the quality of my communication, right? How do you employ the personal patience to answer the 1.5 million questions in the lasagna?
I'll just say it. It takes an act of God. Literally. It takes it. I'm gonna take you back to the beginning. I'm sorry. It takes God, because I've been in arguments with my God, built in my flesh and in my spirit, saying, you got to change something. If I say thus, and so, it's this, thus, and so. And he's like, you need to learn how to I'm sorry.
That's fine, man.
You need to learn how to use your words to speak your own answers. You gotta speak because they're here. They're already in here. You just have to. You gotta say it. And most of the time, she already knows. But you have to seek God. You gotta seek Him. He's gonna talk back, and it's not always gonna feel good to the flesh. But I have to admit, I say it takes an act of God. It takes an act of God, because I was like, He's done many, many things in this area alone, where I just stopped. Like, all right, yeah, you said it. You said it. I'm gonna do it your way. I'm gonna do it your way, in my time.
Right, that part.
That's
in my
right.
time.
But I'm getting rid of that too. I'm getting rid of that too. But that's a symptom. I'm going with it.
Right.
Okay.
That's a symptom.
Say that again. I missed you. Say that again.
I said that's pride. When I say, "Oh yeah, I'm doing it your way, Lord," in my time, that because I'm doing it in my time, even though I know what to do, that's that pride kicking in and be like, "Yeah, all right, I got my answer, so now I got to come up with a time to when I'm going to figure out when I'm going to do it." No, do it. You have your answer. You might as well go act upon it now. Don't wait.
Okay. I promise my pride question is going to be the last one. Okay. Tasha, same question.
Which part? The Proverbs 32 or?
Yeah. If there was an ingredient that you had to put in the Proverbs 32 man, what is it? I promise you, that's a whole book. The Proverbs 32 man, because we always talk about the woman and what the woman does do and what she doesn't do and how she doesn't understand and all that stuff. The one thing I will say is because men observe, our assumption is we know, because we've been watching your pattern for so long. And men, just like women, we follow patterns. The only difference is that women, they speak to the pattern all along the way. Right. Men, we don't speak to the pattern until there's a problem. So we've been watching each other, and we're like, and then because we haven't been talking, the Proverbs 31 woman says, you don't understand me. But we've been watching, and it's quote unquote hypocritical from this standpoint. Every parent, they observe their child many times without talking.
Right.
And so when they begin to answer them, they know what's wrong accurately because of the power of observation. Right. So that's just a sidebar. We'll talk about that at a later time. But okay, so the Proverbs 32 man. Go ahead, Tosh, you got it.
Honestly, for that Proverbs 31 woman, one of the main things I believe that the Bible would speak to is the man having a prayer life. And I say that because in order for him to run a home, in order for him to walk in God's calling, in order for him just to be a husband, he has to have a prayer life. And without that is where all that other stuff comes in, the non-quality of communication, all of the things that causes the downfalls. I've learned it starts with a man who knows how to pray with family, knows how to pray with his wife, knows how to pray over his family, and then on top of that, actually trusts that God is going to do whatever he's praying for. Because what will happen is, as the Proverbs 31 wife is trying to be all these things, well, when she's not, she can look to her Proverbs 32 man, and at the minimum, he's going to pray. At the most, he's going to pray. That for me is security. To know that you're walking with a man of God that's going to continue to keep you uplifted, continue to pray with you, and teach and actually teach you how to do so, because that's what God gave to the man, is to be the head of the household, to help the wife rear the children, and to be that not a logistician, but to be the man that's taking care of your home. You need instruction. And if
Yes.
you are going to be under the Lord, you need God's instruction. And so
Okay.
the only way you're going to get that is by speaking to the Lord. And then on top of that, your wife, I feel that the wife needs to know that she has that Proverbs 32 man that's going to pray. If the lights are about to be turned out, he can specifically say, her, babe, I've already prayed about this. We're going to go before the Lord, and we're not going to worry. That right there is a piece of a Proverbs 32 man that I honestly believe would keep this trend of relationships going this way back that way.
Okay. All right. That's good. So, the prayer life, the Lord said to me a while back that prayer always positions that individual to have the proper response to any situation. So
Yes.
that is awesome right there. That prayer thing. Clinton, would you hit the prayer thing and then give me one more about the Proverbs 32 man?
Yeah, the prayer thing, of course, it removes pride. You got to kick your pride out of the way.
Yeah.
And say, Lord, I acknowledge you in all my ways, and even the ways that I thought were good, they were not good. Uh, that is that when you go into prayer, and it's not just for wisdom and direction, but there's a level of intimacy in prayer that will that will blow your mind, literally, as a man. It takes you into levels where pride doesn't exist, lust doesn't exist, all of that stuff. Not just communing with God, just saying, "Oh Lord, I need you to do this, and I'm doing this, and help me to do." No, that intimacy when He's like, "Oh man, you coming to me? You coming to me wholeheartedly? You ain't got no other filters on right now." He's like, "Oh man, I have to give you my full attention."
Wow.
That intimacy in prayer, it can't do nothing but provide the guidance and the provision in a divine direction that the man of God will actually require for him to do what God has chosen him to do for his family and his wife.
God.
So not just the quality of communication with the wifey, it's the quality of communication between him
With
and
God.
God. Because when you get, I've always told my honey, I said, it's cool about the skirt ministry. It's about the skirt ministry. Back in the day, we used to talk about that. It's cool when you about the skirt ministry. You see it from a distance, but that intimacy, that level when it's time to, when God is really, when you're really in there with God, it's like it can't be on the veil for real.
Yes.
Yes.
So quality of communication, prayer life, quality of communication with the wife, a prayer life, quality of communication with God that births intimacy.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Tasha, give me one more, and then we will go 56, and then we will answer the one last question. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The other thing I would say too is teaching the man how to be a father. And I say that because in relationships, we may not always agree on how to rear children together. We don't know what to do from day to day when your child is colicky and this, that, and the other, or things happen with your children. What happens is the relationship can get strained trying to raise children.
Okay.
So that Proverbs 32 man, along with his prayer life, also strives to rear and raise his children in the same type of manner because of the relationship he has with God. And that gives the relationship he has with his wife, now that she knows he's secure in our babies, he's secure in my children. I'm all straight. What you need on your hamburger, sir? We gonna take care of you because you're taking care of our kids. For a mom, we wear all those hats: wife, mom, sister, auntie, just like you guys, husband, logistician is the word he loves to use, father, all those good things. When there's issues with the household, meaning rearing children, the things that are going on in the household, it definitely is going to weigh on the relationship that the marriage has. If you don't talk about those things, if you don't come together about how are we going to take care of the kids, what are we going to do here with the kids, spending time, not just throwing gifts at the kids, things that you have to grow into. That also brings, I believe, the relationship even closer. When you
Okay.
have that man who has that quality of communication, the quality of communication in prayer, a quality prayer life, and he know how to raise his kids. Yes, dear. Yes. I will take it for 200, Alex. Yes.
Let me ask
Absolutely.
you. Let me ask you a quick question, Tasha, and then I'm gonna ask my final question. I have a question about communication.
Mhm.
Okay. Men are thinkers, so are women, but men are more thinkers, and then we talk when we have a response. Women talk themselves through their thoughts until they get one.
Yeah.
When if you come in the house, and this is 28 years talking, you come in the house and Clinton is quiet, right? You understanding that we're thinkers and the whole nine, and you ask him if he's okay, and he says he is.
Mm-hmm.
What is your response?
Truthfully, I would probably say, "Are you sure?" That's my
Yeah.
first question: is, "Are you sure?"
Okay, and if he
Why?
says yes, if he says yes, and then he's quiet all night into the next day, do you still take his original answer, trusting that if he wasn't, he would say something?
I've learned to do that. It took time. It took a
Okay, so
lot of
again,
time.
back to that education thing.
Yes, it took time to do that because effective communication normally, well, not normally, but with communication, oh, I'm fine. My thing is, I see the whole communication, body language, eyes, I see all of that. So with him, knowing when he's quiet, after I give him a, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yes, hun, I'm done. I'm not going to bother him about it anymore." But
Okay,
it took me years
I
to
was
learn
about to
that.
say, okay,
Years.
double Jeopardy question, Alex.
Right.
how long, how long did that take to trust the relationship, to trust that I'm fine, to trust that I'm okay?
20
See,
years.
because normally
Right.
when normally when a woman says I'm fine,
Mm-hmm.
and we can tell if you're lying or not, and we're normally right. But on the flip side, when we're okay, we're just quiet because we know we have to have an answer that
Mm-hmm.
the house has to live off of. And so
Mm-hmm.
we don't want to make we don't want to make a bad choice. It took me a while being a man to realize that the power of my decision impacts other people.
Yes.
So I don't
Absolutely.
want to be just random in my talking. So how long
Right.
did it take you to hit that? Oh, all right. How long?
It took it literally, taken years throughout the entire marriage. And I say that we're still learning to this day, because over time, that quietness starts to mean something different. So you have to get to a point where you're going to, for me, I'm the one that's going to open that communication. If I know he gives me that I'm okay, and then he's really quiet, I also know that there's some body languages, some looks or non-looks that tells me there's something else going on. So for me, I've learned how to kind of come to him in a softer manner rather than, okay, what's wrong with you? Why are you sitting here quiet like that? I just asked you if you's okay. We don't do
The
that.
neck,
Yes. Now it's babe.
the juggler.
Yeah, right. And now it's babe. If there's something wrong, I'm here. You need to talk, I'm here. Or trying to open up just the line of communication so that he knows that whatever he's dealing with, that I'm there and he can trust me to talk with me about it. So I
Okay.
just give him the, okay, honey, if you need to talk or whenever you're ready to tell me what's going on, I'm here. Because what ended up happening is the constant, are you sure? You all right? You sure? Are you for real? Pushes him away further. But it
Right.
took
Because we
years.
start feeling like you think we're lying.
Right. So it took me a really long time to learn which situation I could be like, something's going on. What's going on with you? Tell me what's up. Then there's other situations when I know just leave him alone. He'll be all right. We're good. And that comes with time and security in your relationship. You got to
Okay.
be
And that
secure
thought
in
process,
understanding that. Yes.
okay, that thought process, we're good. Was that one of the foundational issues that would drive you to ask again and again because you didn't
Yes.
feel like y'all were good?
Yes. And I didn't feel like he was talking to me, communicating with me effectively. That I'm
Okay.
fine is just a pacifier type deal. And I
Gotcha.
used to feel like, stop pacifying me and talk to me. What? What's going on? What do you need?
Okay.
But I had to figure out over time what situations I really can do that. Go into that, well, babe, really tell me what's up, whatever. So what we ended up having to do recently is literally sit down with each other to figure out, okay, when I'm in this area, when I'm quiet in this mood, or when I'm here, just leave me be. Or I would literally just ask him, do you want me to just kind of back off today, not really talk about a whole lot? Do I need to just give you your space? And he'll tell me yes. That answers a whole lot more questions than just the why you not talking to me? What's the matter? Why are you not saying that thing? I've just learned how to kind of maneuver those
Uh-huh.
questions to make it more um, approachable, but it also gives you a resolve that, okay, he'll talk to me when he can or when he's ready, rather than the resolve of, I'm just gonna walk around here mad all day because he's not telling me what's wrong.
So at 28 years, yous are still finding out things about each other because yous are both constantly changing.
Yes, constantly changing, mindsets changing, um, dealing with your own health stuff changing, just different things, and you'll tend to look at your partner like, you're not helping me because I'm going through all these things and you're not talking to me, and oh my god, what's the matter? That don't get nowhere. It does not go very far at all. It doesn't go.
But to also
Clinton, would you
allow
speak
me
to
to
that? And then I'm going to ask the final question.
yeah, just to interject, it has gotten better throughout the years. And like I said, it does take an act of God to open up and just say,
Right.
I really don't feel like talking now, maybe later. Or if she does come to me and I will speak out and say, this happened, or you said this doesn't so, and learn how to say it in a way that won't sound like I'm accusing her of something. It
Triggers.
breaks it out into a conversation. We can actually talk about it, talk about how it was possibly misinterpreted. Most of the time, it's misinterpreted as something. Get clarity on it, and then be done with it. I mean, like recently, it's happened. I'm like, wow, really? Like,
Still learning.
it's
Yeah.
like I went to work like I've been to work a week like, dang dude, all she said was that's all she wanted and that's all I did and that was it. I've been just, my mind has been blown. Like, this is all I had to say. This is it, and she's okay. Like, wow, that's for real an act of God. For real an act of God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, it's okay. Here's my last question, I am. It's a statement that I want both of your responses to. Clinton first. I went to the Lord, and I was having a problem, and
Or movie sleep.
the Lord said, "You'll figure that out when you get married." And I said, "Why?"
Wow.
And He said to me, He said, "Because pride is a marriage killer, but marriage is the killer of every pride."
Wow.
That's what He said. Pride is a marriage killer, but marriage is the killer of every pride. And so He wouldn't give me an answer. He just said, "Get married." Get married, and
Wow.
this part will be taken care of in marriage, because in order to be truly married, you have to employ humility. And marriage
Yes.
will kill this
Have
part
to.
of pride in you. So, okay, Clinton, I'm out the way, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your plate. What's your thoughts? Go ahead.
That's good. That's really good. I mean, I don't have much to say about that, but I will definitely agree with. I'll say, let me think back in my thoughts just for a second. Learning and being married, I can honestly say that when I started seeking God, especially the second time in our marriage, we'll get into that. When He showed me about the pride, about the everything, I said, "Man, I don't know how to do this." And He's like, "I know." I'm paraphrasing, the conversation while I was eating carpet, because that's where it was. It's one that was the first thing. The second thing He showed me. The second thing that He showed me when He started talking to me. First was like, we gotta an open relationship here. I can understand you. You're when I can talk to you when you're standing up. I can talk to you, communicate with you when you're on your knees. But when you're on your face, that's as low as you can go. You can't. I really have your full undivided attention there. And when I was there, is what He revealed to me. He said, "Look, you will be able. You could see and do a lot of things without her, but you'll never be able to see as far as you need to see, as far as I need you to see without her. You always will be able to see further and more clear and clearer with her, which is why you're with her, why you're with together." So after all the carpet was gone, then I could, give Him the praise and the worship, clearly. But
Wow.
I'm sorry.
No. I just wow. I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good to know.
See,
Yes.
communication. I wish I would have said this 10 years ago.
You know what?
Hey, we learn as we go.
Right.
Tasha, pride is a marriage killer. Marriage is the killer of every pride.
I never knew that I had a pride issue.
What?
Until I got with him.
Okay, hold on. Rewind. Let's dig into that for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Would you, without getting too personal, what was it that said, "Dang, T, you prideful"? What was it?
It was situations, truthfully, that we've gone through, and I would think to myself, like, how could you do that to me? This is who I am. Who am, I'm supposed to be this person to you. I'm this person to you, and I'm not going to take down for anything. Okay, that's fine. But what ended up happening to me, or for me, is internally my emotional state became untouchable, meaning I'm too good for this. I don't do this. This is not who I am. I don't deal with things like this. But that was internally. Outwardly, I'm going to do everything. I'm going to make sure we're together. I'm going to work. I'm going to do all that. But inside, I'm too good for this. What's wrong with him? Look at me. Look at who I am. I've never been that person outwardly until I started asking God to show me myself. And that was my prayer in January of 2019. It is now February of 2020, and I'm still learning the things I've asked God to show me about myself.
Yeah.
And what he explained to me, or what he physically had to show me, because it was at a time I couldn't even hear anything. What I saw was putting myself up on that pedestal that I felt that I should have been in his life, made me look at him in a certain light. Like, you're not good enough for what I'm good enough for. You're not going to be in that place that I need you to be, because I'm already there. You're not even there with me. You're not even on my level. I never even thought that was something I dealt with inside. I didn't realize that that's how I looked at certain situations until I started asking God to show me myself. So what I started doing more, once again, was the communication, so that it would kind of knock down all those things that I built up inside of me. And I didn't know if maybe it was because I didn't hear it from him, or I was looking for it in any other thing or other stuff. And no, look at yourself. And that's what God was showing me about myself. You can be replaced. You're not that good to where you can't be replaced. Not that God is talking about breaking marriages. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying showing me that you are not on that pedestal so high that you can't be touched. And in my relationship with my husband, because of how we started and because of our relationship and how tight we've become and all these other things, you kind of forget that, it took you work to get there. So sitting on your pedestal is not going to keep you there. You're going to get knocked off that pedestal. And that's exactly what happened. And I didn't know how to handle it, because I didn't realize that was something I struggled with. I didn't understand that I had pride. And
Tasha, were you in the military too?
No, sir. Mm-mm.
Okay, all right. So
I should have been. I felt like I was.
Yeah.
No.
On Tuesday, on Tuesday, we are going to start off our conversation with a wrestling match: soldier or Marine versus civilian. Okay.
Yes, Lord.
Soldier versus civilian.
I lived that segment.
Huh?
We lived it. We lived that segment. Yes, no problem.
I'm living that segment right now.
Yeah, this gonna be PG-13 or rated R.
You know what?
It's gonna be NC-17.
Right. NC-17. That's what you get. Right.
Listen, because
put on the whole armor of God. For real.
Yeah, we have a lot of military who follow us and watch us and stuff like that. And what happens is when the Marine or the sailor or the airman or the Army infantry, when the military mindset comes in the house and is dealing with civilians, the clash or
is real.
Yeah, it's like the murder and the mayhem that can happen in the house verbally or emotionally is something else. Like personally, I remember Steph would come in the house and she would start talking from this Marine person, but her daughter Merceda, when we and her weren't married, and then me, we're civilians. So Ninja, change your voice. I'm still grown. Right? But here's the problem. But then here's the turn, Tasha. Then But when me and Mercedes started telling her how she was making us feel, then it felt like a gang up. Like she put her whole life into this to make a family,
Right.
for us now, like to
Right.
support and all
Right.
that stuff. And now we're acting like her, the mentality that made her successful.
Mm-hmm.
We're hating on it and not
Mm-hmm.
giving it any honor. Like, you're killing us now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so
Right.
and so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that whole war was a real thing.
It's a
So
real thing.
yeah, so I want to take the time. I want to take the time out to really dig into that, the quote unquote soldier versus the civilian, because every time the two walk away, our thought process is always that the other person doesn't understand.
Right.
Um, it's very difficult for you to understand everything that Clinton went through while he was away from you in the military, trying to survive and get back to you, and all this other stuff, and what he was dealing with while he was away, the booty he was dodging, and blah blah blah, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he sees. But while he's away, he's not thinking about the men who tried to push up on you and the stuff you had to deal with the kids and all this stuff. And so that communication gets lost when there is a problem.
Yes, absolutely.
When a problem. So I want to, I am going to employ personal discipline right now.
And you know what? And the funny thing is, I wrote my thesis about military families and the effects on just being active duty as well as being families of deployed members. And a lot of what I researched, as well as what my own personal experience has been, it is not for the faint of heart. And, you know, in our days, in the 90s, all the females, all the teenagers, we was always running to either the base. Ooh, all the swabbies is coming in. Ooh, the ships is coming in. Ooh, the cute men's is coming in.
Right.
Don't do it. I'm just saying, you got to be like, you gonna be in it for the long haul, because you are dealing with that personality, and then their personality becoming a military personality and still trying to be their own personality, and you're just kind of out there like catching it all and like having to figure out, am I going to shoot him with his own gun, or are we going to do this and hang? So it's definitely something that is close to my heart, because we've watched a lot of marriages fall because of military life.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we are gonna deal with it. The soldier versus the civilian. We are going to deal with it, because I'm going to see if I can get Steph on. I know she's studying. I'm going to see if I can get her on, because it's so key to people who are having that. Because a lot of times, even for those who aren't married or military, sometimes the one of the individuals have had such a rough childhood that it comes off as warfare. Like where the other party is seen as the enemy. Right. And so we're going to deal with that on Tuesday, and we're going to deal with your story. I can't wait, because I got some questions about your story. And at the very end, because I like I said, I'm claiming y'all as our marriage pastors. When we need something, we coming to y'all. Y'all are people. So, but I want to ask y'all about at the end of this, I'm going to ask you about PTSD, post-traumatic shepherd disorder.
Yes.
Post-traumatic shepherd disorder. Because my question, it was a question that the Lord told me to ask y'all, is how do you advise? How do you advise marriages to process shepherd advice?
Whew,
How
man,
do you know
got it.
as a couple? How do you filter in the good or the bad advice of a shepherd, especially if you've been married longer than he's been a shepherd or she's been a shepherd? Like post-traumatic shepherd disorder, because a lot of marriages would have made it if they had the right advice from their shepherd. And so I want to ask y'all, I know I heard from Jesus. I want to ask y'all, because I need the people who are connected to the prophetic evolution. Y'all got to help us recover.
Yes.
Y'all have to help us recover. Even with the point of some couples were great until the pandemic.
Right.
When they had to deal with each other every day for 2 years.
They actually have to be in the same room for longer than 20 minutes.
Right. All these problems, came. And it took me until tonight to start really understanding why God wanted y'all two on, because the depth of your wisdom is so massive. So listen, I need y'all to do me a favor. Y'all know we're gonna put some change in your pocket, but I need y'all to inbox us your personal cash apps. We're going to send money to both of you individually, and bless y'all individually, put some change in your pocket. But I want to be able to put it up on the screen so that the team and so that the people who are on here then can sow into y'all as well. This has been so much fun. It's been so good. I can't wait until next week. I'm almost mad I only got y'all 2 nights a week. But I'm like, listen, I can't wait, because Tuesday we're going to dig in, Tuesday and Thursday, and then me and Stephanie are going away on vacation. But when we come back, we are going to have Q&A. And I know they got questions. I know the viewership got questions and everything. And thank you so much.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, for your time. So before I let y'all go, would y'all give me final thoughts from the two of y'all, and then I'll let you go. Final words.
Final words. I will say this. Marriage is beautiful, definitely in God's eyesight, but it's even more beautiful when you see that the person that God has put in your life is going to be the person that you will love and honor and cherish and have memories and enjoy your life with. I believe that it is possible. It will happen. It can stay that way, but you have to stay in God. If you take God out of that relationship, I promise you, 100%, it is not going to continue. You have to keep God in your relationship. Even if you're not living saved and, wanting to be, that minister, and you're not, that's fine. God says we can pray wherever we are. We can come to him, ask, seek, and knock. So I say, definitely stay with God in your marriage. If you're getting married and you don't have God as the center of your engagement, don't do it. Wait on the Lord. Seriously.
Is that because, Tasha, is that because God is a faithful referee? Like,
oh my God.
At the end of the day, you and Clinton, even when y'all might not want to submit to each other, you will submit to God, absolutely, which means you submit to each other?
Absolutely. Which is why we're still sitting here.
Awesome. Clinton, sir?
Yes. More specifically, I'll send this out to the ones who are actually really discouraged right now, or might feel as though they're in the pits of hell. I'm a living testimony, both spiritually, physically and naturally, that you still look up to God and He will answer your prayer. If it's about your marriage, if it's about your relationship, it's whatever it's about, no matter where you are, in the pits of hell, even. You look up into your God, and I can guarantee He will be there. If you want your marriage saved, if you want your career changed, whatever the case is, He will definitely be there. He hears you. Believe me. If He can hear me, He can hear me. I'm, if
I'm a
I am
living
so dead
witness,
serious.
sir.
If He can hear me
And he's listening. Yeah.
in as many
Right.
languages as I've been spoke, He can hear you. He will hear you.
Yes.
He
That's
will
true.
hear you. So
Wow.
please stay encouraged. That's all I
Thank
can
you,
say.
Steph.
Stay encouraged.
Yes.
This,
Yeah.
this, y'all. I have a phrase. I love acronyms. This has been magic. This has been. Y'all have made a genuine internal change. MAGIC. And man,
Wow.
this
That's
has.
beautiful, baby.
You go,
That's beautiful,
baby.
baby.
Yeah, y'all are a team. And listen, I love watching couples who like each other, who look at each other.
Today we do.
Yeah,
It's
today, right now.
Today, right now, we
today right now.
And
Well, you know
basically
what?
just broke
Thank
me
y'all
off.
for liking each
Yeah,
other in
yeah.
the moment. We appreciate it. So
Thank
listen,
you. What is your cash app? I got it right.
we love y'all. We please send us your cash app. We're going to sow from the prophetic evolution,
Oh, yeah.
but we also want them to have an opportunity to sow into you as well over our time together. So God bless you
Thank you,
both.
guys. I appreciate that.
Have a great night. Don't team, don't leave. I'm coming back. I'm just releasing them from the line. Thank you so much.
Love you
All
guys.
right. Love y'all.
Amazing.
Well, almost.
Amazing. Wow, right? Wow. Wow, right? Oh my God. Wow. What an amazing conversation that we have had about relationships. I am blown away, y'all. So watch this. You know what one of the things that I had to I made a note about was when two things, man. Tasha made the statement about an education in marriage. And you know how many of us go into relationships ignorantly. We go into relationships ignorantly. We don't know what a relationship requires of us, what is required of us to have a successful relationship. Not even marriage, relationship, business relationship, personal relationship, church relationship. There needs to be an education in the relationship so that we're not ignorant. Then, man, Clinton said the quality of communication, man, because I am a great communicator, but my quality isn't always there. I can do better in the quality of my communication. Like I said, if I like when we were grading ourselves on Tuesday night in relationships, if I was grading myself, I told God, I said, on a scale of an A to an F, I give myself about a T. because sometimes the quality of my communication um, is not as good as it can be. Clinton also made a statement that I made a note of, and then Tasha made a statement I made another note of, that I want to talk to y'all about. Clinton was talking about filters, and I immediately thought about my iPhone. Now I don't do this, but hold on. Oh, okay. I got it, babe. I got it. Clinton was talking about filters, and I don't do this, but my wife does it. My wife would take a picture of me and then send me a picture that didn't look like the picture that she took. She would take a picture of me and then send me a picture of me and her, and I know we didn't take a picture together. And I'm like, how'd you do that? And she'd be like, look it. That's her word. Not look at it. Look it. Lookit. Look it. And she would show me the filters on the phone. For most of us, filters add a dimension and shows a different version of the original picture. It shows a different version of the original picture. Most times, the filter is better. Most times the filter is better than, hey Susie, most times the filter is better than the original picture. There is there's certain people, like I think Andrea is one of them. Her hair pops on photos because she's a redhead, or reddish, maroonish redhead. But some of her most amazing pictures are in black and white. Stephanie has taken a picture or two in black and white that I love. Why? Because black and white is a classic pic. It's a classic photo. It's let me kill y'all with no color. Let me kill. Let me stay right there. That's a good one. That's a good way to put it. Let me kill y'all with no color. And I remember one time I was on tour, motivational speaking, and Steph sent me a picture of her, and she wasn't smiling. It was a fierce photo in black and white. And like I said, that was my first thought process. She is killing them with no color. And so when you put a filter on a picture, what you're doing is you are putting that filter between the taker and the viewer, a barrier between the taker and the viewer. So for the picture to get to the viewer, it has to go through a filter. And most times it makes it look better. Now, there are some times that the filter is amazing, but the part that nobody thinks about it is the filter is a lie. The filter is a lie. You don't really look like that. You don't really look like that. You are truly posing. And sometimes we don't feel like we are being honest when we have to filter ourselves. And I'll leave that there. Next point. Steph. I thought that she was in the living room. So Steph told me that she was taking me out last year. And she told me I would never figure it out. And I sure did. She was taking me out. We went over to Old Town. And, you know, I'm an Uber driver. I used to be an Uber driver. And then I used to be a professional driver. So I know everything over there. And we made a turn. And we're driving into this parking lot, and I looked over and I see our pastors. I see Shante and Brakia, Cephas. And then I looked up and we were at a gun range. I've always wanted to go to a gun range. I haven't shot a gun since I was 12. And we go to the gun range, and they make you put headphones on because the sound of a gun is real. The gunfire is real. And they're shooting, and the kickback on these guns ain't a game either. And while I was sitting there watching, trying to focus, because Stephanie was wearing some really nice jeans, and she was shooting. Now Stephanie is a Marine, so retired Marine, and so she knew how to shoot. And so, but I'm watching her and going from her stance to them jeans. My brother Kurt wrote a song that you rocking them jeans, and she was rocking her jeans for real. And in the middle of observing her and Pastor Shante and Pastor Brakia, and they were shooting, the Lord said, I want to show you something about the gun. And I said, okay. And I think the target was about 20 feet away, something like that. And Stephanie was shooting at it. And he wanted to show me something about the gun. And the Father said to me, he said, Adam, he said, there would be no holes. There was a outline of a guy there that you shoot. He said, there would be no holes in that paper if Stephanie is not triggered. If Stephanie's not triggered, there would be no holes. He said, the next moment, the next thing that happens after Stephanie is triggered and she pulls the trigger is she is forever connected to the bullet that left the gun and struck the target. Let me say that again, because that was really good. He said she is forever connected. Once she's triggered, once she pulls that trigger, she is forever connected to the bullet that left the gun and hit the target. I said, wow. He said to me, he said, most people don't understand the power of being triggered. The power of being triggered can end in death. The power of being triggered can end in death. the power of being triggered can end in death. So, with that, I will leave y'all to your thoughts. Would y'all do me a favor? Would you inbox me? Hey, Tamika. Hey, sis. Would y'all inbox me or Stephanie and let us know how tonight blessed you, please? I want to take a moment and definitely thank Clinton and Clinton Isaac Smith and Tasha Monique Smith for joining us tonight. They will be back with us on Tuesday for their cash apps. Oh, hold on one second, y'all. I need to make sure my phone doesn't die. Okay. All right. Let me put this up. Tasha Monique's cash app is $TQ Smith 74. $TQ Smith 74. And Clinton's is L. Ooh, what happened? L0 VE capital H8. Remember, y'all, we were talking about encryption, and I told and Stephanie, I said something, and then Stephanie put up her encryption. That's what Clinton did. $L0 VEH8. Let me put this up here real quick. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so there we go. I put it up there. Tasha's is $TQ Smith 74, and Clinton's is love. That's a L0 VEH8. I want y'all to go ahead and send them something. We're definitely going to send them a little something from the Prophetic Evolution, and they will be back with us again on Tuesday night. On Saturday night, I will be on here prophesying and declaring a word from the Lord over you all. We will see you. We will see you back here on Saturday night. Does anybody have any questions? Y'all know that if y'all need to sow anything, by now y'all know it's $the mighty PE. We have a lot of things that are going on. We need your prayers and we need your support, because we have a lot that we have to do this year. And yeah, we have a lot that we have to do this year. And team, I'll be letting y'all know, staff meeting next Wednesday. I will be giving y'all the calendar for the year. Everything is pretty much together. And Rhonda, I heard you, and I believe that I'll be able to have all my responses so that on Wednesday, y'all will, the team will know the entire year, and that will be preparing us for March the 2nd, where I will be giving a vision of the entire year. Okay. I am about to let y'all go. Yolanda Morant, hey sis. Does anybody have any questions for me before I let y'all go for the night? It is 8:47. What a great night this has been. What a great night this has been. What a great night this has been. Nothing? No one? Yolanda Morant, I wish you were a superhero. I would love to see you as a superhero, a black female with screaming red hair as a superhero. It's kind of like Halle Berry when she was Storm in the X-Men. Black power. Power to the people. Okay. I think that we're good. Okay. So God bless y'all. Thank y'all for being a part. Because I'm wondering what your superpower would be. I listened to your, I call them randomisms. When you come on and it's not planned and you're talking, I think you would be Dr. Xavier. I think that as a coach, and this is just my eyesight, I think that as a coach, you would be great at determining the X-Men. You would be great. I feel that. Where is that coming from? Lord God. I feel like you would be great at determining and embracing the mutants and showing them how to best utilize their supernatural abilities. You are Yolanda X. You're Yolanda X. You are Dr. Xavier from the X-Men. I didn't know that was going to come out as prophecy. It was just it started out that I thought it was just a thought. But no, you are able to determine the gifts, and you can help those of us who feel like mutants to how to be our greatest self. Yeah. And I'm going to leave that alone. Okay. So thank you for being a part of the prophetic evolution. I know that tonight was a lot. If y'all have any questions that y'all want to drop on us for us to prepare for our Q&A in a couple of weeks, do me a favor and email your questions to info at thepropheticevolution.com. If you have any questions, please feel free to to inbox us, email us at info@thepropheticevolution.com. Now, I just want to show you one more thing, and I'm going to let you go. Just one more thing. Okay, y'all. So let me show this to you real quick. If you go to thepropheticevolution.com, thepropheticevolution.com, you will see this screen of me and my gorgeous wife. And if you would come down, let me take this off. Hold on one second. If you would come down here to the sign up box. Hold on. Now I can do it. Okay. If you will come down here to the email address and put your email address in the sign up box. It will not only make you a part of our story, we will give you you will get personal information as it relates to what we are doing, in the very near future. Okay. Also, at the bottom of your screen, also, we're asking you to text EVOLVE to 855-592-1025. 855-592-1025. One more time, it's 855-592-1025. I want to thank you so much for being a part of what it is we do here at the Prophetic Evolution. We will see you on Saturday night, where we will be prophesying. God bless you so much, and we will see you later.